So, recently I was asked, why should I care about civics? My question was, why are you not involved in your citizenship? Why are you not involved in your community affairs? And this led to a hell of a conversation. Now, I've had this conversation with people over the years. Not only have I been actively engaged as a citizen, participating in civics constantly, but I've also challenged people to be a part of that process. And I think now, more so than ever, you need to understand civics. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should care about being involved in civics. What is civics? Civics is basically how power works where you live. It's not just the government. It's the system that decides who gets what, who pays for it, and who makes the rules in your city or country. Civics is also knowing your rights and responsibilities. It's understanding what you're allowed to do, what the government must do for you, and what you owe your community in return, like voting, paying taxes, and just participating in society, contributing to society, right? Number 3, civics is about participation, not politics. Civics is about participating in processes. And many times local processes, more importantly than national processes, having that relationship with local government can be so much more of a lesson, and it can be so more impactful than even the national politics themselves. And then once you influence locally, then you can get those people to influence on a national level. Civics is about participation. It's not about politics. It's not about left or right. It's about showing up. It's about attending meetings, signing petitions, contacting your officials. It's about knowing how to make your voice count. And they say the squeakiest wheel gets the oil. So civics connects your life to public money and decisions being made that impact the public. Every pothole, school, traffic camera, housing program exists because of a civic process that includes budgets, laws, votes. And if you don't understand that process, you don't control how your money is used. You don't control how your tax dollars are used. Civics is how you hold power accountable. When you know how the system is supposed to work, you'll understand when it's failing and when it's not working for you, and demand better from the people who run it. But you don't always have to wait to the last minute for a crisis to do so. If you pay attention, you will understand in advance, and then you can be proactive. This is why you should care about civics. Civics gives you power, not just opinions. Knowing how government works turns your frustrations into influence. And another reason why you should actually care about civics is because every policy touches your pockets, from rent and parking tickets to business licenses and taxes. Every civic policy decides how much money leaves or stays in your wallet, period. And then understand the civics help you spot unfair systems. It helps you fight unnecessary fees and demand transparency about how your tax dollars are used. And a great examples of that is DC tickets. You've grossed over 161 million in tickets in 1 year. Where did the money go? And how is that now going to benefit us? Those people who got taxed the most by tickets should now be in a position to utilize those resources, right, to make their community a better place. Local decisions, they shape your everyday life. It's not the Congress or the White House deciding if your neighborhood gets a new grocery store, new housing, or safe street. Federal funding can support those things, but no, it's your mayor, it's your council members, it's your local agencies. And if you ignore local government, then you're letting someone else design your community for you. Civics builds critical thinking and community awareness. Civic knowledge teaches people how to read and understand policy, laws, challenge misinformation, hold leaders accountable, It creates a more informed neighborhood, one that can't easily be divided by a news spin or bias or fear. And then civics is how the people protect themselves. Voting, attending hearings, commenting on legislation, organizing community input are how we prevent corruption and neglect. If citizens don't know their rights or roles, power concentrates itself in the hands of a few. Engaged citizens means safer citizens.
See, this is why I do civics. If I don't participate, my bank account gon' fill it. This is why I sit back and listen. I wonder why the post they poin', how the rich keep getting richer. This is why I'm trippin'. Cause the schools don't get no better, but traffic cameras make 100 million. This is why you better be up in the building. If you don't, then how they gon' educate your children? Ain't no PTA, basically cause the parents missing. Instead of a tool, they using the school as a babysitter. Is you boo-boo the fool? That's how children turn into sinners. Entertainment just brain filler. Do civics, get realer. Cause this is why I pay attention. It's plenty distractions, but I'm taking action. There's buttons they never gon' mention. Push them to play them in civics, no limit. It's kinda like building a pension. Contact your city official, you feel me, and let them know just how you feelin'. Especially if the political melody ain't harmonizing your vision. Civics the process that make you the boss of the policies impact your living. If you not involved inside civics, you limited, basically riding the benching. You need an ascension instead of flinching. Enhance your position, nothing's a given. You gotta put work in. So what is you learning? You so busy twerking. The clock keep on turning, but can you reverse it? What is you earning? Go put the work in. What is you earning? Go put the work in. What is you earning? Go put the work in. See, this is why. See, this is why I do civics. See, this is why. See, this is why.
So civics is the study of the rights and duties of citizens, focusing on how government works, how citizens can participate in their communities. It covers the rights and responsibilities of citizens in a democracy. It covers the structure of government and how to be an active member of the society you live in, most importantly. It's the study of the relationship between citizens and their government. The keys to the game here is understanding the government structure, like its branches and their functions, understanding your rights such as voting, etc., and understanding your responsibilities like paying taxes or jury duty or whatever, and most importantly, how to engage in civic and political processes. To create active, responsible, and knowledgeable citizens who can contribute to their community is actually the goal. So today we're going to break down the mayor's office. We're going to start with the head of any city, which is the mayor. For the District of Columbia, City Council and Office of the Mayor was established on December 24th, 1973 through the Home Rule Act. The District of Columbia Home Rule Act, Public Law 93-198, Statute 774, established the office of the mayor and transferred the executive powers previously held by the President, Congress, and the federal commissioners to the elected mayor and the DC City Council. And the mayor's powers and duties are codified mainly in DC Code 1-20422 that describes the powers and the duties of the mayor, and DC Code 1-30181 describes the executive office of the mayor, And then DC Charter Article 4, I believe, breaks down like the executive framework. And so the core job description for the mayor of the District of Columbia, again, which is probably similar to many cities in America. Number one, the mayor is the chief executive officer of the district, right? The CEO of the District of Columbia is the mayor. The mayor is comparable to a state governor or a city manager or a corporate CEO with a $20 billion budget, basically. The duties of the mayor include enforcing all laws of the district, ensuring faithful execution of acts of Congress that are applicable to DC, overseeing all executive agencies, departments, and instrumentalities, appointing and removing directors, boards, and commissions. And that process is actually subject to the city council confirmation. The mayor is responsible for preparing and submitting the annual DC budget to the DC council and ultimately Congress for approval. The mayor is responsible for supervising the administration of all public programs and funds. And the mayor is responsible for maintaining public safety through oversight of the Metropolitan Police Department and Fire Department and emergency services, EMS, and all the emergency management agencies, right? The mayor is also kind of like the chief financial officer in a way. Even though the DC government has an independent CFO, right, chief financial officer, the mayor still is responsible for proposing the annual budget and the multi-year financial plan. The mayor is responsible for submitting to the city council for adoption and then to the president and Congress for approval. And that's the budget we're talking about. And then to ensure spending aligns with appropriations and fiscal law, right, which is the Anti-Deficiency Act, right? And that legislative framework is based on DC Code 1-20442. The mayor also is kind of like the CFO, even though there's an independent CFO. The legislative and administrative aspect of the mayor's job is basically proposing legislation to the city council. The mayor must also sign into law or veto acts passed by the city council within 10 days. And then the council may also override a veto from the mayor by a 2/3 vote. And the legal basis for that is in the DC Charter, right? I think section 404F. And the mayor has personnel authority, which means the mayor appoints the city administrator, the agency heads, and board members. The board members do require some consent from the city council. Then the mayor exercises authority over labor relations and collective bargaining agreements and personnel policy, right? The framework for that is DC Code 1-20422. The mayor is responsible for maintaining order and safety, right? And then during emergencies, the mayor can also declare like a state of emergency, mobilize resources, and then issue executive orders, right? Subject to council review. The mayor is also responsible for contracts and procurement. And then so, if you ever done business with the District of Columbia, you're familiar with the Office of Contracts and Procurement. But the mayor must ensure that all procurements do comply with DC Procurement Practices Reform Act, right? The mayor is legally responsible for ethical contracting, competitive bidding, and prevention of waste or misuse of public funds. And that legislative framework is in DC Code 2-35101, I believe. DC Code 1-116101 prohibits conflicts of interest and like self-dealing, and then misuse of office. The Open Meetings Act and Freedom of Information Act, right, which we know is FOIA, that obligates transparency also, right? And then the mayor is also subject to oversight by the Board of Ethics and Government Accountability, and then the Office of the Inspector General. And then failure to comply with the rules can lead to administrative or criminal penalties. Now that's the mayor's job description. Under the mayor's legal domain, you have law enforcement, then you have budget and finance, then you have appointment, you have contracts, then you have emergency powers, then you have ethics, and then you have public accountability. I'm in the nation's capital. I'm in Washington, D.C. So whether you in D.C., whether you in Houston, whether you in New York or L.A., it's the same game.
See, it's the same game, it's the same game, and y'all don't even play. What a damn shame. It's the same game, it's the same game, and y'all don't even play. It's a damn shame. It's the same game, it's the same game, and y'all don't even play. What a damn shame. It's the same game, it's the same game, and y'all don't even play. What a damn shame. What a shame. See, it's the same game, it's the same game, and y'all don't even play. What a damn shame. I like that. See, it's the same game, it's the same game, and y'all don't even play. Damn, what a shame. Cause it's the same game, it's the same game, and y'all don't even play. What a shame. It's the same game, it's the same game, and I don't even play. What a shame. It's the same game, it's the same game, and I don't even play. What a shame. It's the same game, it's the same game, and I don't even play. What a shame. 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 Shame, shame, shame. What a shame, 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 shame. Anyway, I'm not a vocalist, by the way, and I don't even put my music out to the world. I ain't never put out no vocals to the world. Hope I ain't sound too crazy, but I'm gonna put it out there because it ain't about me. It's about us. It's about us. Yeah, just take a moment to breathe deep. Breathe slow and deep. And just think about why they play the game and why you don't. Why don't you play the game that's being played? Why are you on the outskirts of the board? Why are you not even on the board? Why don't you even have pieces on the board? Let's contemplate to this right here.
Keys to the game. Sometimes you gotta unplug the toxic message out your mind, and you just gotta sit and hear yourself think. Ask yourself, did these keys help you contemplate clearly? Did it clear your mind when you heard these keys? That's what they do. That's what they for. So sometimes you gotta clear your mind to digest certain information. You can on that tempo, like that tempo. Sometimes no, your brain is not going to be able to receive information. You gotta tune out the static and out the noise sometimes. So you gotta cleanse. You gotta cleanse. You gotta cleanse sometimes. You gotta cleanse. You gotta breathe. You gotta chill. You gotta cleanse. And sometimes just listen to instrumental. You don't have to have other people's words in your brains all the time. Sometimes that prevents you from thinking clearly, people. So you have to detach. You have to detach from all these messages, from all of these other people and all of these other entities and all of these other influences. And then you have to allow your own message to be heard. You have to sift through your thoughts. And if you can't stand to be alone with your own thoughts, that's another conversation we need to have on another day. Because once you get to the point where you can't sit still with your own thoughts, then you just need a detox. You just need a mental detox. You need a spiritual detox. You need a soul tox. Up on that note, it's 6:37 in the morning. They text me on my phone and they talking about that business. What is this? Let me see and check this. You can't wreck this, so respect this. Take this seriously and don't neglect this. I'm editing the Civics 101 episode that I shot. And I'm like, no matter you from DC, yeah, I'm in the nation's capital. No matter if you in DC, the nation's capital, Houston, LA, New York, it's all the same game. And that same game just kept ringing in my brain. You hear? Yeah, so I had to come over to these keys and get that thing out my head. And then I end up writing to it as well. It's the same game, but you don't even play. It's a damn shame. It's the same game, and you don't even play. What a damn shame. From DC to Houston to LA, they running game. But the question is, why you don't play? Why you don't know how to seize them why you don't know how to sow them civic seeds so you can grow? Once upon a time I asked, why do I even care? Cause the game rigged, and it ain't never fair. Civics give you a power, yeah, not just opinions. Plus you gotta make sense before they even listen. Policy touch your pockets. You don't like them, then you stop them. Replace them with something better, and that's how you get it popping. Local decisions shape your daily life, that's right. Check your mayor, check your council if they don't act right. Critical thinking required, cause them lawyers they done hired. But some of them plundering for real and need to get fired. Civics prevents corruptions, cause what they do is they be bluffing. But if you ain't hit the legislation, Slim, you ain't changing nothing. That's how they go. But this is how I relax. You know what I mean? When it's time to relax, when the world is, on my nerves, and the stress is heavy. I got the boulders on my shoulders. that's how I relax. I listen to a lot of instrumental music. I listen to a lot of jazz music. So I can hear myself think. That's just the lesson for this time. Can you hear yourself think? That's what we're going to deal with. On a mental health tip. Can you hear yourself think? Can you stand to be alone with your own thoughts? Can you? Is the question. And then don't worry. We got answers. We're not going to get in that today, because this is a whole Civics 101. I just went off topic. Way off tangent topic. But yeah. Real question is, why don't you play the game? Why don't you play? It's not always about what your city can do for you. It's also about what you can do for your city. We're going to start with the parents. Being parents 101. So parents, one thing I need y'all to understand is you are the mayor of your household. Right? You're the mayor of your household. And so your duties and your roles and responsibilities really impact a lot that goes on in our city, because I'm gonna be honest, some of y'all children is just running rampant. It's interesting how the nation's capital is ratchet, is extremely ratchet. Parents, I need y'all attention, and I need y'all to pay more attention and give more time and attention to being parents, because you are the mayor of your household. And then in the neighborhood, y'all gotta have a council of mayors who are managing their households efficiently. So what it really is we have have and we have have-nots, right? And so sometimes the youngins, you know, y'all come from a more stable household, and sometimes a lot of the youngins, you know, it's a less stable household, right? Because when you got less stable economic infrastructure, you got less stable families. You know, it is what it is. So as a parent, like, you gotta hit your kids like, look, it's a time and place for everything. Like, parents, you gotta start taking the time. Well, you ain't gotta do nothing, but I'm encouraging you to take the time to spend with your children, especially around the age of 12. Like, see, my community work started in youth development, right? And as soon as I started working with young people, I started meeting parents, you know, after a while. Sometimes you never meet the parents, but when you meet the parents, it's like, oh, I see the product. Okay, it makes sense now. And so when I look at young people, you know, going ham and haywire, I'm like, where's your parents at, Slim? Like, that's one of the first questions. Where's your parents? And if you've been disengaged with your household and your child is 12, you know, it's just the right time, right? They about to hit puberty, you get them before they hit puberty. Their brain gonna start working different when they hit puberty. When children are younger than 12, they're gonna absorb and mimic. Like, children are going to mimic. So if you got a toxic household, they just gonna watch that and they're gonna mimic. Children mimic before the age of 12. That's how they learn. They mimic. So when you see people have certain characters, where did they get it from? Certain behaviors, where did they get it from? They got it from watching the people in their household environment, right? They got it from watching people who they hold dear, the friends, the family, whoever. So if you got a youngin under the age of 12, you gotta realize they're very impressionable. Once they hit the age of 12 and they start hitting puberty now, it's gonna be another world for them. Now they starting to feel themselves a little more and they trying to figure stuff out. You know, being socially relevant is more important now. Looking a certain way, smelling a certain way. And then once a youngin get 15, they don't have no moral compass. They don't have manners and etiquette. Like, why don't the kids have manners and etiquette? And a lot of times, parents, this is you. This is your job. You are the mayor of your household. And then some of y'all are parents. You never had a childhood. And sometimes that's why you're not spending time with your child, because you are still a child, kind of, in a way. It gets deep. And because that parents want to go out and do them, now they make their oldest child the parent while they run the streets. This is a whole nother conversation we're gonna have. We're gonna have a whole conversation about being parents 101. But look, get your damn kids. Manage your household properly. Some of you have been extremely negligent. Now, sometimes some of y'all are just tired and distressed. My mother worked 2 jobs. She sacrificed a lot to look out for us, to provide for us. She did a lot on her own. She didn't curse around us. She didn't drink, smoke, and like she was, you know, she was just trying to do her best to be this virtuous woman, you know what I mean, for us. And I really appreciate what she did. In contrast to the other parents in the community, sometimes I gave my mother the side eye, because I'm like, why you got all these damn rules? This is when it takes a village, because even if you put a whole bunch of rules in place for your children, they're not going to be in your household 24/7. They're going to hang out with other children that have other parents that have other rules. And so in my house, it might have been this way, but I can go next door and then do me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can be influenced outside of my household even more so than in my household. If I decide as a child, nah, I like what they doing over here, they get to run wild, but then you get a little older and be like, damn, that was irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? But you thought that was the cool household, but actually sometimes it was just irresponsible parents. It takes a village. And like, so if the parents in a neighborhood, if you're beefing with each other and all of y'all have toxic relationships, and you're not on one accord about what are the rules and regulations of your neighborhood, then it's going to be extreme dysfunction. It's not them, it's you. We knew to respect the elders in our community. I'm not seeing that in these youngins. And that's because you didn't teach them. Maybe your parents abandoned you. Sometimes it's cyclical. But guess what, y'all? We gotta start somewhere. Where's your child? After school. Where's your child on the weekend? Being young is a great thing to be. And for that reason, I want to help y'all not crash out, young people. I want to help you not be crash dummy specialists. You may or you may not have parental guidance. You may not feel loved by your parents. You may be not getting the attention and the guidance that you need from your parents. It's okay. That's why it takes a village. So I'm going to play Uncle Tim right now. There is a beauty to being young that you got to capture while you're still young. If you crash out early while you're young, you're going to miss and you're going to lose an opportunity that you cannot recapture as you age. You cannot recapture your youth when you get past a certain threshold. I'm advising you to take your time and just think, do you love yourself enough to capture your youth in its essence, in its prime, right? And if you do love yourself, or if you love someone else, or you stand for something, or you're interested in something, it doesn't matter who else loves you. It doesn't matter because you just start with loving yourself and wanting to be the best you that you can be. Society actually needs y'all. Change and difference, a lot of it's made by young people, ages 17 through 25. You know, it's the youth that is the catalyst for change in a lot of situations. You can go to the civil rights movement. You can go to so many different movements within the United States and around the world and understand the role that the youth play is very important and very necessary, very valuable, right? But some of y'all are crashing out too quick, too fast. And it's probably because you don't have the value for your life. You don't have the principles. You just in the days. So I'm trying to help your ass wake up. Let's just do real life. Let's just do real life. Let's do real life. I have a lot of experience dealing with young people, their parents, and their families. I've mentored and interactive, engaged, and supported young people who were 4.0 students and young people who were charged with second-degree attempted murder. Throughout that wide range of dealing with young people, a lot of them just needed to know which way to go. A lot of them just needed a little bit of love. Y'all are very special, and I'm trying to get you not to waste your youth. When somebody sends me a reel of young people at Pentagon City Mall just thrashing that joint. A couple weeks back, I get a video. Here's a reel of youngins at Navy Yard, and it's like the National Guard is breaking up fights at Navy Yard, whatever. I talk to the National Guard youngins all the time, and it's funny, the National Guard is a bunch of youngins for the most part. 17 to damn near 25 they self, right? I pull up on National Guard, hey, what's up with this video I seen? What's happening, Slim? There was a fight that broke out, and we tried to calmly, diffuse it, and then one of our folks ended up getting hurt. So then we had to get aggressive and break that joint up. And this is what they tell me respectfully. I talk to them all the time, but from my own perspective, I've been working with y'all young people forever, and let me give you a word of advice. There's a time and place for everything, and then there's etiquette. The Navy Yard area is a commercial business corridor. That place is set up for trade and commerce. Businesses are there, so customers can get easy access to them right off the metro, off Uber, whatever they're gonna do. And it's a walkable neighborhood to facilitate living, comfortable and safe living. The rent ain't cheap, and then the businesses are there to make money. So imagine you got a business as a young person, whatever you're doing, you're selling burgers or you're selling clothes or whatever you're doing, young person, and then a whole bunch of your friends just gather in front of your store, and then they just start a fight, and now your customers don't come back to your store because all your friends just had a big fight in front of your store. Hello. This is reality, youngin'. The Navy Yard is a commercial corridor, so it's there for business. If you ain't patronizing the business, you in a way. However, if y'all was engaged in entrepreneurship, if you were engaged in some activities where you could brainstorm and engage in business, then maybe you wouldn't be out there running them up, all in a way, crashing out. There's another side to that story too. What else do you have to do? What else are you being engaged in? And that is not your fault. That is a failure of the parents in the community to advocate for your resources. And that's a failure of community leaders not coordinating the resources necessary to keep you out the way. So it's a twofold responsibility. But youngin', what I need you to understand is you are the mayor of your life. At your age, if you don't have children, because some of y'all become really young parents, which repeats that cycle. We'll talk about that more later. But your sole responsibility is really to be the mayor of your life, to just make sure you manage responsibility and get to the next level without crashing out young. And some of y'all, in addition to becoming parents, actually having children, y'all become the babysitters for your little brothers and sisters if you're the oldest sometimes. And that's another conversation. That's tough too. But we got to find a way. We got to make a way. Regardless of your predicament, your responsibility is to be the mayor of your life, manage your affairs productively and responsibly. And if you're helping out around the house and you do that with pride, then that's more power to you. We commend you on that, and you need to be awarded and rewarded for that, really, for helping out around the house, being a role model to your little brothers and sisters. But I want y'all to be a role model for your little brothers and sisters, not a crash dummy for your little brothers and sisters, because they will need you as they get older. When you're crowding at a metro station, let's just deal with the basics. Let's deal with real life. When you're crowding at a metro station and you're blocking the entrance, that's just a problem. You get a reel, you get a text, you get a whatever. Hey, such and such, we about to mob the station. We about to pull up at the station, and such about to fight. It's the wrong place and time. This is what the Metro is. The Metro is a multi-million-dollar piece of transit conveyance. It's a transportation mechanism. That's what it's for. You blocking the entrance and the exit to the metro station is way out of pocket. It's out of control. It's disrespectful and it's selfish. Imagine if you had a party or if you had a prom and there were a bunch of people who had nothing to do with your prom and they were just blocking the entrance to get in and out. Just a crowd of people just blocking the entrance to get in and out your party. Yeah, that's what you're doing to other people. So I need y'all to stop putting yourself in other people's shoes. The metro station is from people like you going to and from school. It's from people who are older than you going to and from work, going to the grocery store, wherever they're going. That's what they use the metro for. And then people pay more when they live beside a metro station because the metro raises the value of where they're living. And you just blocking it, being in the way, probably don't even live in a neighborhood. You just in the way, you just being a Bama. It's a time and place for everything. You need to have some respect also. If you're standing in front of a Safeway or a grocery store, why are you blocking a Safeway? There's a 60-year-old woman, a 70-year-old man trying to walk in and out with groceries. Why are you blocking the entrance to anything? Young people, that's called awareness. You need to have situational awareness. You need to be aware of where you are, what's your surroundings, what is appropriate and what is not appropriate. What's appropriate, what's not appropriate. You need to be aware of these things at all times. I don't care who told you what, now you know. And so once you understand what to do in the right place at the right time, then you can start to be respected as a young person because you're showing respect. When I was your age, I would be that one like, hold up, don't block the metro. Oh, y'all about to fight? We not about to pull up right there. That's hot. That's hot Bama shit. Go to a field, go to a baseball field, go to the basketball court, go somewhere in your neighborhood where you can be out the way, have your fight, and keep it pushing. The other thing I'm gonna tell you is that I respect y'all organizing fights. That's actually something I respect. I respect young people getting together, organize a fist fight, and keep it pushing. Have good one-on-one fight, two-on-two fight, whatever. Just a good fair fight. Y'all hash out y'all differences. Don't nobody shoot nobody, don't nobody stab nobody. You win, you win, you lose, you lose. You live to fight another day and keep it pushing. Respect that, that's respectable. All y'all Bammers coming out, being emotional, pulling out pistols, shooting each other, not over no money, not over no real violations, just to show off and just to be emotional, just to prove a point, you're crashing out. Because when you get caught, because you did that and all them people and they get to talking, and when you get caught, you're just gonna throw your life in the trash can for nothing. And if that's what you wanna do, you wanna be locked up in a clink, in a cement box, when you could really just be enjoying things you like to do in life, then that's your choice, Slim. Y'all need to be more responsible and less emotional and less crash dummy-ish on a regular basis. I hope y'all can, I know y'all can do that. Can do much better. Some of y'all have parents giving y'all guidance that y'all not even listening to because you're influenced by other in your peer group who parents are letting them crash out. So you like, wow, my parents won't let me crash out. Yeah, because your parents love you and they care about you. They want to have order and rules. I used to wonder why I couldn't do some of the stuff my friends did growing up. And now that I'm a grown adult, I'm like, thank God my mother took the time to give me structure and boundaries. Because when you look back, the ones that don't have the structure and the boundaries, those are the ones who are sweeping the floors of those who had structures and boundaries. You know, the ones who had structure and boundaries and that follow and they got a moral compass, got some direction. Those are the ones who you're working for. You don't stay young and pretty and fly forever. You get old, you gain some weight, and you ain't popular no more. You drink too much, you smoke too much, you have children too early, then you peak in your early 20s. By the time you're 30, you're old news. This goes for the women and the men. And so y'all really gotta recalculate what you're doing. You think somebody popular and trying to live that grown-up fast life too young. Nah, you pay for that and you realize, dang, I peaked too early. I peaked too early. I should have chilled, took my time. And in these days and times, speaking of the times, you really, really have to tune in, because you may not be getting it from home, you may not be getting it from school, you probably ain't getting it from school, and there are a lot of gaps that you got to close. And I need y'all to take this advice. You are what you eat, and that goes for your brain food. Your body, nutrition-wise, you are what you eat. If you eat trash, you're gonna feel like trash, you're gonna look like trash. If you consume toxic entertainment and you consume meaningless information, your brain is gonna reflect that. Your character is gonna reflect that. So just peep game, youngin', and understand it's been done before you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you gotta do is follow the path that was laid out for you. If you wanna use this brain, this supercomputer of yours that can outperform the device that you addicted to, detach from the device and understand that what you give your attention to is what's gonna move you. It's gonna move your mind and it's gonna move your body. So be careful what you give your attention to. We got a lot to discuss, young people, but what I need y'all to understand is that it's simple, it's not complicated. Stay out the way, respect your elders, understand there's a time and place for everything, and have the situational awareness to look around and say, oh, we shouldn't do this here. Oh, we should do that here. Oh, this metro's for all of these people that need to use it for transportation like we do sometimes. So let's not block the entrance. Oh, we're 15 of us in front of a grocery store, y'all. Let's move to the side where we're not blocking nobody. Oh, we're blocking the whole damn sidewalk. Oh, let's go over here so we don't block the damn sidewalk. It's just called being decent. It's called civility. It's called being civil. It's called treating others how you want to be treated. Because you find yourself being inconvenienced in the same way, you're not going to like it. You're probably going to cry and complain about it. So don't do to others what you don't want done to you. And if you don't have a role model, and if you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, it's too early for that in your life. You can find examples. You got that device and you got the main device. So it's just really about how you use it. If you use your device for mindless information, mindless entertainment, useless information, useless entertainment, toxic information, toxic entertainment, your life may be quite miserable. If you use your computer, your supercomputer, and your device computer for useful information, constructive and useful entertainment, then guess what? You just might be a constructive person that constructs and builds, have something to show for their time. But let me tell you how to measure yourself, young person. If you spent the whole day and you don't have nothing to show for it, you spent the week, what did I do? What do you have to show for your time, people? That's how you measure yourself, young person. You spent all day. What did I do today? Did you produce? What did you create? What did you learn? Okay, give yourself a week. What did I create? What did I build? What did I learn? What did I teach? What did you do that week? What did you do this past month? Give yourself the daily test, the weekly test, the monthly test. That's how you calculate your time. What are you doing with your time? What do you have to show for your time? If it's just a pair of shoes and a bunch of comments and talking shit, then hey, you ain't gonna be able to cash that in. Those are depreciating assets. And not even assets. It's just a waste of time and energy, young. Hey, look, young, we got a lot more conversations we gotta have. I just want y'all to remember, you are the mayor of your life, youngin'. Tighten up.